Hi Erika, happy to see these essays from you. Great work. Let's get right into it, see what you have to say. Reading has numerous benefits. Nevertheless, there are kids that don't find it attractive. Okay, let's talk about the sentence a little bit. It's an IELTS essay. You need to use formal language, so you don't want to use the word kids. Instead, use children, and don't use contractions. Write the whole word out instead. There are options that children can enjoy that develop better skills and imagination than reading. I believe outdoor and art activities will have a notorious impact in a child. No, not notorious. A substantial, a sizable, something like that, but not notorious, which typically has a bad connotation. This essay will analyze both options and use examples of activities to demonstrate the benefits of using them as alternatives. Fine. Firstly, doing outdoor activities can develop skills that would be impossible to develop just by reading alone. This is because when being outside, they're able to explore their surroundings and use, not using, all their senses. For example, a survey conducted, not made, by the American Search Institute, no comment necessary, shows that children that were in a summer camp came back more confident with better decision-making, social and emotional skills, more independent and responsible. Okay. Therefore, kids can benefit from playing, exploring, and getting dirty. Secondly, art activities can help a child develop different types of skills. This is largely because arts involve different abilities at the same time. For example, while painting, children develop fine motor control by holding a brush or a crayon, develop cognitive skills by mixing primary colors to create secondary ones. They can, I don't know what they mean by canalize feelings, I'm not sure about that word. They do not know how to verbalize, and they can use their imagination to create new shapes. Okay, I had a concern about your use of the semicolon here. I'm not really so sure that I agree with it. But, okay, I'm just, moving past it right now. As a consequence, when children do something they enjoy, their learning is more meaningful. To conclude, I firmly agree that children gain better skills when they perform an enjoyable activity than just reading. In the future, when they see the results, the use of the activities will be a norm. Okay, lovely. It's a nice job. You've used the acronym really quite accurately. You've done a lot of good things. It's a good essay, especially for your first essay attempt, so well done. There were some little things I need you to correct, so keep them in mind. But you've developed this really quite well and quite faithfully to the acronym, so good job. Let's take a look at this one about communication. Communication in families has changed throughout the years. It has been as a consequence of the development of family roles and technology. This essay will discuss both factors using examples to support points and using examples to demonstrate points and support arguments. Okay. You know what? I don't remember how this one is phrased. If you had included the actual task, I would tell you my opinion. Here's the thing, because I can't remember if this one asks you to discuss both sides. Actually, I think this one asks you to say to what extent you agree or disagree. That's how I remember it being phrased. However, you haven't really addressed that question. You've just said that you will discuss both factors, and you don't include your opinion here. But like I said, because I'm not sure about exactly how the question is phrased, I can't tell you for sure. However, when it does ask you rather to what extent you agree or disagree, it is important to address that and say the answer basically in your introduction, okay? Because if you've ever paid attention to the banned descriptors that are available publicly all over the internet, you'll see that there's something in task response at band 7 which says you have to present a clear response throughout the essay, okay? Throughout means from beginning to end, so it's a good idea to let the reader know what your opinion is from the beginning. Okay, moving on. Firstly, families have changed along with society. I think that's what you mean here, but I'm not entirely sure. A family from the 30s is different from a modern family. Before, families used to spend more time together playing board games and performing home activities. I don't know what you mean by home activities. Do you mean chores? Do you mean household activities? It's not clear. There is a different reality in families now. This is largely because nowadays, to have a stable economy, it is necessary that both parents work, making them spend, no ing necessary, less time with their children. Again, children. A new study by the University of Washington has found that 14% of American children ages Okay. 5 to 12. Spend some time alone after school and only 20 minutes were spent in conversation. Therefore, it shows that family dynamics do not give time to meaningful communication. Secondly, technology has a big influence in today's society. The easy access to it and the need to be connected all the time have made an invisible barrier between family members. According to the Common Sense Media report, the average American adult spends 2 hours 51 minutes on their phone every day. As a consequence, technology has changed family day life behavior, helping people being connected to the world by disconnecting them from people around them. What a nice sentence. I like that. To conclude, I firmly believe that these days family members, especially the young ones, communicate less. In the future, the communication gap between family members will continue as long as people rely on technology to interact with the world. Oh, interesting. So this is your conclusion here? All right. So check this out now. Here's the thing. Again, the acronym has been followed really, really carefully. You did a nice job. Grammar, vocabulary, even I like your ideas as well. Okay, so as far as task response, grammatical range and accuracy, and vocabulary are concerned, you really did quite well. Guess where there is an enormous problem, and this might surprise you. You don't have a conclusion, which means that you're missing a paragraph, which means that if you look at the band descriptors for coherence and cohesion, you'll see that there is illogical paragraphing. Okay, because you didn't have a conclusion. You kind of attached a conclusion just here to your third paragraph. So this would be a huge problem in terms of that score, the coherence and cohesion score. So it's really, really important to make sure that you clearly delineate your paragraphs, that you not only hit return, or rather, when you're writing, that you move to the next line, but also that you keep a space between each paragraph like you did here and here. Okay, so this is an issue of test taking scores that you have to be aware of in order to do well, because it would really be a shame for you to lose precious bands in coherence and cohesion because of something like this. All right, so keep that in mind. On the whole, I was happy with these essays. There are some things obviously you have to do to correct them, so that's the next step. I want you to correct these essays. I want you to take the errors that were pointed out to you, and I want you to add them to an error correction list along with the corrected version of what they should be. Send these back to us with the next essays that you write. Now, as far as your error correction list goes, this is a list that you're going to add to after each essay, okay, so you can really make a note and be aware of the kinds of mistakes you're making. With that, I leave you because you've got some work to do now. Try to get these all to us in the next day or so. I'll be here. I'll be waiting to see what you write next, so good luck with your writing assignments.